Very good evening, everyone. We will soon be on live in less than a minute. Eight seconds to go. Very good evening to everyone. This program is broadcasted from SWR SWR 99.9 FM. This is the recording of the radio being played from the station Wednesday the 9th. This program is currently live from Brisbane. Today, Sunday, the 6th of March. 58-minute program will be presenting original Filipino music from Australia and the rest of the world in Philippine languages in English, Tagalog and Bisaya. All comments and opinions in this program are not necessarily held by the station. Please visit our Spotify playlist. Go to Spotify and search for Say More Radio SWR 99.9 FM. Now, the track that we were listening to in the background is called Say More to Life, and that's many thanks to Butch Monserrat of Monserrat Musikworx in Newnham in Tasmania. And this is Say More Radio Show's signature track. We believe that musicians color our world and also gives us a way to feel and express our emotions. That's why it's called Say More to Life. First one we have up for you is an old song, but it's still, the message is still current. Actually, it's timeless, it's ageless. This was created back in 2012, 2013. So this song is called Life, and this is a collaboration between Australia and Philippine artists. So the vocals are by Chris Belison, and Emmanuel Rodulfo on piano and bass, Jun Latonio on synths, French horns, strings, Arpeggio and Rhodes, Christian Semilla on drums, and he's from Manila, Butch Monserrat on steel, nylon and electric guitars, and also on the tambourine, words and music by Butch Monserrat, and he's from Tasmania. Now, 2013 and 2014 had been difficult for Butch, in that he lost a lot of old friends and also have good friends who were ill and all going through some very trying times. Now, aside from that, Butch was also motivated to write this song because of all the chaos going on around the world today, such as the constant conflict in the Middle East, Russia, and the Ukraine. So whatever's happening in Ukraine, that's been happening since way back then. A worldwide famine, and it's still going on, and the Ebola virus breakout, that was back in 2013, 2014. And currently we're still going through the COVID-19. And so Life is a song about these conflicts and issues, and about how we go through so many different stages, changes and challenges through our lifetime. Situations that clearly show that we are not in control of our lives, nor do we have a say in what happens to us or what direction or path our journey might take. It's all about living up to faith, the heavens, and the powers that be, depending on your belief. Let's have a listen to Chris Belison with the song Life. Here we go. We are listening to Say More Radio. This is Mitchell.
Life, as we know, has constant changes. You never know where it goes. It's never left up to you. You have no say, can make things go your way. Fate will choose if you win or lose, and away you go. trapped in this world. When we exist today, and what makes one strong, the other one weak? Where are the answers that we seek? We're constantly searching for truth and the meaning of life. We don't decide what's in our future. Life has its own ups and downs. There's nothing that you can do. Without a doubt, you can scream and shout, question just what it's all about, and wonder why these cards have been handed to you. So who do we blame while we play the game? Who are the winners? Who are the losers? Trapped in this world. When we exist today, what makes one strong, the other one weak? Where are the answers that we seek? We're constantly searching for truth and the meaning of life. Right or wrong, we go strong. No matter how you make it, you'll never know what's coming your way, your way. So who do we blame? How we play the game? Who are the winners? Who are the losers? Trapped in this world. When we exist today, what makes one strong, the other one weak? Where are the answers that we seek? We're constantly searching for truth and the meaning of life. We're constantly searching for truth and the meaning of life. The meaning of life. The real true meaning of life. The meaning of life. The real true meaning of life. The real true meaning of life. The real true meaning of life. The real true. Say More Radio SWR 99.9 FM.
Maraming salamat, Chris Belison and Butch Monserrat and all those other performers that gave us the story of life. That was a very good message. Actually, all the songs tonight have a story. So basically, what is the meaning of life? But the next song we have for you is one performed by Chuck Abello, and he is based in Reno, Nevada. And the words and music are by Butch Monserrat, and he's from Newnham and Tasmania. Now, so we just heard the meaning of life. Now, the next song that we will hear is called In My Father's Footsteps. Butch actually wrote the music to this back in 2018, and only just recently did the lyrics for it and asked Chuck Abello to sing it. Now, after that, we will have Watch You Grow. So if you just take the message from the titles of the song. So we had the meaning of life, In My Father's Footsteps, and then what do fathers do? They watch you grow. So we will have Carly Arsenui tell us about what he experienced as he was watching his kid grow, and he's from Melbourne. Then we will have an interview with Butch Monserrat, again from Tasmania, and a song by the Pinays singing Beautiful Morning. And this is Liz Conde, Liz Tayag, and Isa Grain. They are from Brisbane, so puro sila Elizabeth. And then we will have an interview with Madge Johnson. She is based in Virginia, near Washington, D.C., and she will be singing for us. She'll be performing A Lovely State of Mind as performed. And the lyrics, mixing and mastering by Butch Monserrat. and music and arrangement by Jun Latonio. So let's have a listen to Chuck Abello with his song In My Father's Footsteps. But again, before that, I'd like to thank Jael and Angeli. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to us all the way from Guagua in Pampanga. Thank you for your support, kapatid. And also to my brother Fritz, listening to us right now from the Gold Coast. And here we go with Carlo Arsenue. Sorry, not Carlo, I'm getting too we have Chuck Abello with his song In My Father's Footsteps. Thank you. Say More Radio SWR.
Lessons learned from days I can remember, when you were at my side. Precious times once shared, I thought you'd be here forever. Only now you're not. I've been told that life goes on, and we have to carry on. You were there in my moments of weakness. You would show me the way, gave me strength to follow in your footsteps, guiding me all the way. But now you're gone. I hear your voice when dark days surround me, can't find a path to take. I know you're here, I can feel your arms around me. Hold me up when I fall. Now I know that life goes on. We just have to carry on.
Thank you very much, Butch, Monserrat, Chuck Abello, and Jun Latonio. Beautiful track. Thank you once again for that music. Very good evening to Princess Annie again, listening to us all the way from Palawan, Puerto Princesa. And to Chuck, thank you for joining us. And you know what, Jael? That song reminds me of the song that we did, Invincible. That song, Invincible, was about 10 years in a wake. But this song by Chuck and Butch was a lifetime in 4 minutes. Wow. Beautiful track. Thanks once again to everyone involved with that track. Now, what we have for you next is we're coming back to Australia. No, we're still in Australia with Chuck and Rita. Well, we're going to Melbourne specifically to listen to Carlo Arsenuo's music with his song Watch You Grow. Here we go.
This is not working.
There you go. Is it better?
Okay, yeah.
I watch you grow. I'll take a lot of pictures and treasure each and every single day. Please take it slow, grow up at your leisure, and I'll be watching every step of the way. Keep that freewheeling innocence of youth and never let go. Keep an open mind, but always seek the truth, and I'll watch you grow. Save the best part of this troubled soul. And I've come to know, with all the best intentions, I'd give it all to watch your life unfold. Keep that wide-eyed innocence of youth that never gets old. An open mind, but always seek the truth, and I watch you grow. I watch you grow. Take a lot of pictures and treasure each and every single day. Please take it slow, grow up at your leisure, and I'll be watching every step of the way. Keep that freewheeling innocence of youth and never let go. Keep an open mind, but always seek the truth, and I watch you grow. I watch you grow. I watch you grow.
Wasn't that a lovely track? Many thanks for that. Carlo Arsenuo from Melbourne. And before that, we had In My Father's Footsteps performed by Chuck Abello from Reno, Nevada. and words and music by Butch Monserrat from Newnham in Tasmania. Now, what we're going to do next is listen to an interview that I had with Butch before he moved to Newnham, Tasmania. I did this a few years back when he was still living in the Gold Coast. And this interview mainly has to do with his the early days of his career, and then it will be followed by a song, Beautiful Morning. So I don't know how many of you guys know about Beautiful Morning or Umagang Kay Ganda. Let's watch this. Here we go. How are you, Butch?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Very good, very good. Now that track was Umagang Kay Ganda.
Yes.
And in English it got translated, or you translated it to Beautiful Morning.
Yeah, well, originally the song was written in English, and it was entitled Beautiful Morning. I wrote that song in 1975.
So it's actually the other way around.
It's the other way around. The reason they converted it into a Tagalog lyrics was because of the second Metropop Festival, where I submitted an entry, and during that time they didn't believe in English songs for a Filipino competition, and that's the reason for the translation into Tagalog.
Oh, okay. Interesting, though, how U.S.-Philippine relationships. I'm going back to how the U.S. colonized the Philippines for around about 50 years, if I was taught correctly, his history correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Filipino music industry, I would have thought, might have been the reason why you wrote the song in English. And then it had to be translated to Tagalog.
Well, I don't know if that was the reason, but we were colonized by the Spaniards and before the Americans came in.
Yep.
So a lot of the influence or the style of writing in the Philippines has a lot of influence of both Spanish and the American music. So there we have an influence of both different countries and different styles of writing.
How does that for you when you're writing a song, for example?
Yes.
How do you? You were talking about the influence of Spanish and American. How does that actually fall in when you write a song? Is that too technical?
Oh, no. It's just I don't think it's a conscious decision on my part when I'm writing a song. Growing up in the music, I've been playing music since I was 14 years old. I used to have a band, and that's how I started. Although I walked away from the band 4 or 5 years after, music has always been a part of me, and there's always been that Western influence from the American and British pop. So I guess that sort of creeps into you, and when you start writing, you more or less know where your niche is or where you fit in.
All right, so really when you say crawls into you, it's really the subconscious, which I believe that's what really music is.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, talking from the soul. So when you're songwriting or making music, you're talking from the soul.
Well, I would hope so. And people ask me that as well. Do you write lyrics before the music, or do you write music before the lyrics? And in my case, the way I write, it really depends. Sometimes they come at the same time. Sometimes a poem by someone might influence me to write, and sometimes a melody will influence me to write lyrics to it. So there's no set pattern in my way of working.
You were also into movie tracks and rock opera. How does things like that come around?
To be honest with you, I was blessed because of my song Umagang Kay Ganda, which Beautiful Morning. It never won in the Metropop, by the way. It didn't even place. However, it seemed to be the choice, the song selected by the public, and it was played every hour, on the hour, in almost every radio station in the Philippines. So that started my career, and as a result of that, I started getting phone calls from people in the music industry asking me for theme songs.
this beautiful morning. Here comes the sun to brighten up away from the dark of night and give us hope on this beautiful morning. And as long as we're together, nothing big as it can tear us apart. We're strong together, and I will leave you never, no matter what may come. Oh, you and I forever. When we're together, I feel you close to my heart. When I feel the warmth of the sun, of the sun, of the sun. Here now we are, together hand in hand as we face the dawn. Our love was born on this beautiful morning. And as long as we're together, nothing they can say can tear us apart. We're strong together, and I will leave you never, no matter what may come. Oh, you and I forever. You and I forever. And as long as we're together, nothing they can say can tear us apart. We're strong together, and I will leave you never, no matter what may come. Oh, you and I forever. You and I forever.
Say More Radio SWR 99.9 FM.
Wow, I really love tonight's vibe. I hope you guys like that too. It's so, well, it's such a good feeling, listening to stories of other people's lives and how it affected them. And of course, we can relate to that. And that's what the start of the song was, life. What's it about? And then we just got a reminder from Butch, Monserrat, and the Pinays just to keep waking up and be reminded it's a beautiful morning. Sabi ng Tito Paeng ko, every gising is a blessing. Thank you very much once again to everyone for your support. We have a couple more time for two more tracks. One's going to be an interview with Madge Johnson, and then it will be followed by her song, A Lovely State of Mind. Sani Janan, we're still due for an interview again. We're going to redo our interview with you. And also, Chuck, we'll have to work on our time differences to do our interview. Here we go with our interview with Madge Johnson. Good evening, Mads. Thank you for taking the time for joining us for this random interview and knowing that there are massive time differences. What time is it there now?
I think it's 12 something
Wow.
a.m.
A.m. Maraming salamat. Thank you for
Opo.
taking this time. Now, we're going to be talking about one of your latest releases, A Lovely State of Mind. So
Right.
now, where are you originally from in the Philippines?
I'm in Cainta, Rizal, but I grew up in around Kamuning area, Quezon City.
Mm.
Quezon City po.
Quezon City. Quezon City. Now, where are you now in the U.S.?
I'm in Virginia, near
Virginia.
Washington, D.C.
Okay. So I'm not familiar with the US as in time zones. It's still I still get things muddled up. What's your singing background as a kid growing up now?
Oh, I started in the choir when I was like maybe grade 5, grade 6.
Well, that
And
long.
then, yeah, it's been a long time. I wanted to go to the church and join the choir. I enjoyed being with the chorus.
Mm-mm.
And then when I went to college, I joined the UP Concert Chorus, and I'm also a alumni of the UP Madrigal Singers. I joined their tour, Asian tour. I did the UP Concert Chorus 3 times world tour as ambassador of Goodwill.
Oh, that's great. Now, what's the main genre of your music?
It's actually a soul and funk with a little bit of jazz. So it's
Wow.
if I put a little bit of jazz, it's kind of like contemporary jazz mixed with a little bit of funk and a soul to make it sound different.
We know that you write songs. So what are your thought processes when you're creating songs? What are your inspirations?
I really don't have an inspiration, but sometimes I sit in my balcony and it's raining and I feel like I have a tune in my head, and that's how I start writing. I get a pen or
Okay.
I start playing, and I usually use create music first. A lot of musicians, artists, or composers, some of them write the lyrics first, but I do it different. So I do music first, and then I put my lyrics and how I feel about the music, and then that's when I nilalapatan ko lang kung ano yung bagay. It's
Ayun.
whatever fit on the music.
Well, when you're performing, do you usually perform with a backing track or a live band?
Live band, always live band.
Yeah, beautiful. And nothing, the excitement for me visually and by the sound also, live music for me has a lot of appeal. Now, are there any Filipinos in your band, or what's your band made
I'm
of? How many instruments?
I have 3 horn players, sax,
Wow.
soprano sax, and trumpet. I have the usual 4, guitar, bass, keys, and drums. So I have 7 musicians plus 2 backup singers.
Wow, that's practically a big band.
It's a big band because the music that I create is with horns. It's actually big music to its full music orchestration that I do. So kailangan talaga kasi if I don't have the horns, or if I take one horn out, it's going to be a hole.
Yeah.
The sound is not going to be complete. It's like how Earth, Wind, and Fire create their music. If you take the horn player, it's not going to do the same. It's not going to sound the same.
Yeah, they're my favorite. Well, they're one of my favorite bands, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, me too. It's actually my musical influences are Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yeah.
Incognito, Brian Culbertson, Tower of Power, those music. Yun ang gusto ko. Those are the kind of I like.
That's great. Now, gonna ask you, this track that we have, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, or I can hear it in the background. It's your new track, A Lovely State of Mind. How did you end up with this song?
Actually friends with Kuya Jun Latonio from the Philippines. He is a legendary composer, along with with Butch, Monserrat.
Yeah.
They're both legendary composers, lyricists, and arrangers in the Philippines. And when June asked me to do, he actually asked me this last year, around September, October. At the time, I have a show around December. I have another show coming up. So I won't be able to concentrate on doing the recording. And I'm also doing some other recording, my own album.
Yeah.
So I was really very busy. Last year, I just released one album, which is the Versatility album. Then now I'm coming up with another one for this year.
Ah, okay. Now, what do you like about this song, A Lovely State of Mind?
Oh, the lyrics and the music. It's kind of different from the music that I do.
Okay.
I said, I like this song. It's going to be different. Let me do it. It's a single. So it's kind of like the younger generation can relate to it.
Oh, that's great. I actually find this track very relaxing.
Yeah.
Now, in the early days of your singing career, what were the difficulties you faced? I'm talking about probably when your early days in the Philippines, or did you ever perform in the Philippines or in the U.S.? Your singing career.
After I came back to sing professionally, came back in 2015. I was working full time. And I wasn't very happy with my life. And music is always my, something that when I feel sad, I always listen to music. And one day, I was in the kitchen cooking. I was singing along with my son. And he goes, "Mom, why don't you go back to your music? We're big now, we're grown now. I mean, you can take care of that now. I mean, we can take care of ourselves. I mean, why don't you go back to your dream?" So I thought about it. Then after that, my brother, Jojo Acosta from the Singer Studio, is actually one of the premier vocal coach in the Philippines. He created a show, a concert at Music Museum. He really wants me to go back singing. At the time, I created a single, which is, the title is Smile, a little jazz, smooth jazz. So he said, let me have a show for me, which Ronnie Raimundo was also there. Dessa was also one of the main artists. That was the start. Then I came back in 2015.
No, that's good. Now, this program, Say More Radio Show, it's an advocate for independent, mostly unknown singer-songwriters. Now, what advice can you give them on how to promote themselves, their music, and keeping in mind that the mindset in the Philippines is different in the Philippines compared to the USA and Australia? What can you suggest to them?
Well, same thing here. If you just wait for somebody to do the job for you, you're not going to go anywhere. You really have to be, research what you really want to do or where you want to go in your career. If you just wanted to do this as a hobby, then it's okay to just promote it here and social media and all this kind of stuff. But if you really want this to be as your career, you really have to work hard for promoting yourself. Social media is very, very important. Number 3 is when somebody said something to you on your post, try to say something back.
Respond to it, yeah.
And people love that you're responding to them. They feel like you're a big artist for them.
Yeah.
I mean, just work hard. That's all. Can't depend on anybody if you really want to be out there with your music.
That's good
I've
advice.
learned how to create my own poster. I've learned how to create my own video. Everything. I did it all by myself. It's not easy. But I love arts too, so I think it's okay for me to
Talking about posters, that's one of the ones that you created. Although I'm sort of blocking your face at the moment. Now, as an artist, what would you like people to remember you by?
I think there's a lot of things like I can create my own music. It's not a lot of artists can do that. You can compose, do your own music, lyrics, being a musician, promoter, arranger, everything. I think for everything that I've been doing now with my career, I basically did everything myself.
Oh, with you. So that's a lot of hard work. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing that for?
Well, I wasn't that active. I think I started being active 3 years ago. But last year, it was my first album. If it weren't for the pandemic, I probably won't be able to do it. Because I just keep on having gigs, having shows, and opening for some big artists, and I really don't have the time to do the music. And during the pandemic, I just keep creating. I said, I think it's time for me to have my own album, because I'm also a music producer, and I create music for other people. And they pay me. It's good money too. So I've been doing that for a while. Well, I said to myself, I've been doing music for other people. Why can't I do it on my own?
For your own, yes.
So, and my mom, before she passed away, I promised her that I'm going to have my own album. And it's actually for her too. So I did it.
That's great. Now, with all that work that you mentioned, let me pull this up on the screen. I don't know how much you can see it, but with all that hard work you've created, you've been nominated for a few awards. Tell us about that. The Whammies.
Yeah. Well, the Whammies it's been 35 years in the area. It's well known for musicians, artists, and they actually help children, music program. They help a lot of communities here. That's why they have this, not just having the awards, but at the same time creating music program, jobs for a lot of younger generations regarding of music. And there's a lot of great musicians, composers, especially in this area. DMV is Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. There's a lot of great musicians here. I was just blessed to be part of the Whammies and one of the finalists. I did not expect to be finalist. I was nominated for 7 categories, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of... I've listened to the nominees and all the songs that they created. I listened to them. They're all great. I'm like, maybe I won't be able to get in. These are great music and all that stuff. But I was surprised I got in on all those 7 categories.
Now, in your musical path, now, who would you like to thank in your music career? Who helped you and other people and stuff like that?
Who helped me? Well, I like I said, I started in the choir. I think it's in our blood since I was little. My family is also in music, musically inclined. My mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family are all into music. So it's really into, it's in our blood. My oldest brother learned how to play the flute without anybody teaching him, play the guitar. I do the same thing. I play the saxophone. Nobody has taught us any of that, because at the time, to go to school and learn, it's very expensive, especially if you have a big family. If you really don't have the talent, then we just did it. My brother and I, we just try to do the music. We'll be in the living room. My dad or my mom will play the piano. We start singing, and It just started in the family.
Now, do you have a list of people you'd like to greet?
Oh, I would like to greet my dad, Rudy. He's in the Philippines right now. My brother, Jojo. Acosta from the Singer Studio. My sister-in-law, Lay. My brother, Noel. My sister-in-law, Arlene. And my family, my boys, Ryan and Lauren. Who else? Kuya Jun Latonio. Kuya Butch, Monserrat. Yeah.
I guess the next question, who would you like to dedicate this song to? If any, you just mentioned a few of your family and friends.
It's a lot of them.
That's a lot of them. Yes, say everyone.
Yeah, well, these are the main ones that supported me all this time, because I was in a point that I don't want to do it anymore because I was really tired. Because I have a back problem and I sometimes get this pain.
Yeah.
And it bothers me at the same time when you get so tired doing the music and it's just don't get you into where you want to be at the time. So I prayed, I said, I just have to be very patient with everything's going on, with the pandemic and the pain that I have in my body. And I guess God won't give me the gift if I won't be able to use it.
All right.
Right?
Always. Now, how can people find your music or know about you? Do you have a website you can mention, social pages?
Yeah.
Other
I
stuff
have
like
a
that?
website. It's www.mads, M-A-D-Z, Johnson, JOHNSON.com. And most of my songs are in all music platforms like Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, where else?
Everywhere that people usually
Deezer,
go to.
yeah. YouTube.
Now, what have you got coming up? Any concerts? Yeah, you've been posting a few events. The last one I saw was going later, as much as July. So you've got a few events coming up. Tell us about those.
I have a tour. It was supposedly a US tour, but it became just a tour because I'm going to London. So it's not going to be a US tour if you're going to Europe. So I will start in May 28 in San Francisco. So every month I have something going on. I go to different areas in the United States, starting in May till all the way to October.
Or when you tour, what usually do you tackle? A size of, say, venue or number of people? Do you pick, or do you only perform for certain audiences?
No, actually, well, if you're like me, I'm doing the show. I'm the promoter. I'm the producer, promoter of my own shows. So it doesn't really matter what color, where you came from. You buy the ticket, right?
Okay.
We make
All right.
money out of that.
They're there
So
for the music.
they're there for the music. Most of the time, I go to only the places where I have so much following, like in the Bay Area, because I used to live there. I have so many friends that wanted to see me perform live. And then in Houston, Texas, and in Tampa, I go to the big cities where I know I can profit and sell tickets. And I put a lot of my friends that are also in the music business, artists, musicians, bands, that I know that can fit in the same music that I do, then I put in there in the show. But and I think most of them have so much following, with their following and my following. A win-win show. My main thing is just to perform and be successful in the show, and just all about music to me.
That's great. Mads, thank you very much for staying up late.
I'm always up
for this interview. Well, vampires and all that, but that again, that's a mark of the hard work that you do to keep your music going.
I couldn't sleep early because there's always something going on in my head, even when I start going to bed. Then if something come up, I'll get up and
All
do
right.
it,
Yeah,
record it, and then go to bed. I
all
should
right.
forget things.
Yeah, it's a
I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Never-ending process then, music making.
No, never ending. And one more thing.
Yep.
A lot of people think when you get older,
Yeah.
you can't do any more music or you can't follow your dreams. For me, music is no expiration date.
No.
Believe that. Keep following your dream. Don't listen to anybody. Just keep doing what you're doing and you'll be good.
That's good. Now, thank you once again, Mads. This is I'm gonna say goodbye to you in this the typical Australian. No, it's not so typical anymore. It's a typical Australian greeting. Hooroo!
Huru.
Yeah,
In Tagalog, what? Paalam.
something like that. Thanks,
Bye.
Mads.
Thank you, Kuya Mitch.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Say More Radio SWR 99.9 FM.
Ang bilis ng panahon, no? Time just flew so fast tonight. I'd like to thank once again Jael and Angeli for joining us. My brother Fritz from the Gold Coast, our princesa, and also to Chacabello. Thank you for your support. Now, to take us out will be the song performed by Mads. And this is going to be a lovely state of mind, and hopefully you guys keep a lovely state of mind. We'll see you again next week. Hooroo!
I've said that falling in love never mattered, that it would only bring you strife with all the heartache and the pain. I've lived a life never shared with another. Love comes, I'm headed out the door. I never cared for what love intends to bring you, 'cause it can only give you nothing but some trouble down the road. I've been my own, neither care nor a bother. I guess you've heard it all before. Then you walked in my life and turned my world around. I'm blinded by your light, can't believe what I have found. I may be blind, but now I find I'm in a lovely state of mind. Yeah, yeah. Maybe this love wasn't meant to be forever. Sooner or later things will change and maybe mess up for the good. I know right now I'm so happy we're together. So let's just take a day to day. There will always be some stormy weather, and only time will tell if you and I can make it through the days. But why it's worth if it don't last forever. We've shared a lovely state of mind since you walked in my life and turned my world around. but now